All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back. This is this is an eventful couple days, dude. I got back from Mexico, and one of the most challenging things about managing a channel like mine, if you're a person who does videos every single day, is man, if you take a break, YouTube is very unforgiving, incredibly unforgiving. I could get into the details on the algorithm and how it works, but rather than do that, I'll just tell you how frustrating it is when you come back and you put up videos and they don't perform. That is what I'm dealing with right now. But this is a day I wasn't going to do anything else until UFC 303, and wow, this is a big story, man. This is a big story. So you got a report that security forces have raided Khabib's martial arts school. There's a video of it, and now you got Connor reacting to it. So it just kind of kind of doubles up the story. So we're gonna do both of those stories. Also, I'm gonna do my UFC 303 preview show where I'm gonna go through the card and tell you guys who I think is gonna win each of the fights, which is pretty straightforward. Obviously, under normal circumstances, those would be two separate entries to the Jesse on Fire show. So what are you gonna put on this one? I'm like, well, I just want to tell everybody who I think are gonna win the big fights. And they're like, what else, y'all? Khabib's martial arts school got raided by the security forces after connections between the terrorist attack and people from his school. It's like, how on earth do those two things go together? You're like, I don't know. They just do. I'm in scramble mode because I just have to be very specific about what I put up on the internet right now. And my videos are absolutely bombing. It's one of the most frustrating things you can ever go through as a creator is when very frustrating. And also, I have a very disgusting, gnarly, antibiotic resistant staph infection underneath these bandages. And what's the right way to put this? They put me in a headspace where I am 1 second from taking anything that's near me, breaking it in half and stabbing it into my own temples. I don't know if you guys have ever been on, I'm letting people get onto the live stream real quick before we start, but I don't know if anybody's ever taken clindamycin, but my God, this is, I generally don't do super well with antibiotics, but I've never taken an antibiotic that so crystal clear made me so angry that I wanted to just tear everything apart. I don't usually have emotional side effects to things, but I am a live wire right now, dude. Kadyrov poisoned Hamzat. Listen, dude. Listen. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird what happened there. I have no idea. Yeah, it's definitely not for chlamydia. You want to see what it's for? Want me to show you what it's for? It's disgusting. It is so. I'm not even going to show you because it's so gross, dude. It is so gross. We've been on for 3.5 minutes. All right, I'm going to give it 90 more seconds. We'll start the stories at 5 minutes, but I'll tell you the exact story of what happened here. Okay, so the day that I was leaving for Mexico, which was Tuesday of last week, I looked and I had this little, you can actually see it a little bit on my finger right there. I just had this little thing right there. I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. Doesn't look like much, doesn't look like much. So I didn't even think anything of it. Go to Mexico next day, I was out at the beach. I'm out at the pool and they kind of look like things that'd be fun to fuck around with a little bit. I had no idea it was staph, right? So I'm kind of picking at it, messing around with it. Next day, Wednesday, worse, Gabrielle's like, dude, stop messing with that thing. You're going to make it much worse. I was like, whatever. Next, mess with it worse. Thursday, it's they're like, dude, you need to see a doctor. I'm like, no, it's fine, dude. It's fine. It's all gross, whatever. Anyway, by Saturday, my hand had blown up. My hand was a balloon. And so I had to see a doctor. They had a doctor on site at the hotel, and he came up and he looked at it, and his face, dude, he was like he was trying to stone face it. And Gabrielle, after he left, Gabrielle's like, he did not like the look of your hand. He gave me a shot in my glute of antibiotics, and then he did that again the following day, and it started to look way better. But he put me on an antibiotic that we found out was the wrong one. And if you know anything about antibiotics, obviously, if you start a course and then don't finish it, it makes it much worse. And because it was the wrong antibiotic for this one, the intermuscular antibiotic started, and then they just stopped working. And so yesterday, my hand looked like Night of the Living Dead. So I had to go to the doctor. They put me on whatever this one is, the one that I just said, and clindamycin. And since yesterday, I have felt like I can't even, I honestly can't even describe how mad it makes me, dude. But anyway, so it hurts my head. Oh, dude, I know about prednisone, man. I've actually taken prednisone, and you're right. I lost it. I lost it on prednisone, dude. Prednisone is no good for me. No good for me at all. So this one says Khabib with the taxes, then retaliation on raiding his gym, plus Conor sharing some wild Ali Abdelaziz info. His new Ali. I mean, Conor's been all over Ali forever. Amoxicillin definitely do not work with MRSA or antibiotic resistant staph. Like, just straight up does not work at all. Anyway, so appreciate you, Carl. Appreciate you, dude. I'm in I'm such a stress case right now because I'm going, so it's Gabrielle's birthday and we're going back to Mexico in 2 weeks. And I'm like, I can't go back to Mexico in 2 weeks, dude. My channel fell apart in 6 days. Like, I can't just go back. Anyway, so we'll talk more about it shortly. We're going to do this preview show, and then we're going to get into this right here. So, let's start though with UFC 303. Whoa. Call out Khabib for not condemning the murders. Okay, let's start there, actually. That is 100% false because he 100% did. He did condemn the murders, and I'll show you because all you have to do is go to my Instagram, and I would encourage all of you guys to come follow my Instagram because right here, okay, this was Khabib's statement about the attacks. He said, going into a church and killing someone just because they practice a different religion. Do I really need to condemn this? Isn't it clear that this is a brutal and inhumane act? Where and when has something like this been normal? In Dagestan, over 30 nationalities, and of course, the majority practice Islam, but we also have Jews and Christians. This has never happened in 30 to 35 years. As long as I've lived in Dagestan, people were being killed 5 minutes from my home. How can this be normal? My children live there. My mother lives there. My family lives there. My brother, relatives, they're all 5 minutes from that place. I was getting calls until morning. They were saying people are being killed and that there are terrorist operations going on, yada, yada. So yeah, he 100% condemned him. Okay, so let me just do the 303 stuff first, and then I'll show you guys all the new stuff on apparently the gym getting raided, which is nuts. I cannot believe that is actually happening. So, I would imagine most of you probably have not seen the video that I did this morning, since YouTube is not showing my content to anyone. It's insane. I did a video about Conor's mental health struggles, which has like an 18% click-through rate and is yet my worst performing video in a year. So I don't know what that's about. Well, yes, I do. You can't take time off of YouTube or they will bury you, dude. But anyway, so in that one, I also talked about Alex Pereira and Yuri Prohaska's back and forth about him using black magic, which in my opinion is probably the coolest backstory for a fight I have ever seen, ever. Okay. Yuri, for real, okay, was, see, I told you, dude. It's insane. Like now I will acknowledge that part of it is probably because I was gone, I came back, and now it's the like, you know, I start posting on normally Thursday and Friday before a pay-per-view. I don't even post because I know I'm competing with every single MMA creator that only posts during those days, like Izzy, Volkanovski, Max Holloway, all these guys who obviously are going to have super high priority that I normally don't compete with. And then I'm like, all right, I don't want to compete with these guys. It'll fuck my analytics up. But because I was gone for a week, I mean, dude, I put up a video yesterday that Logan Paul filed a lawsuit against CoffeeZilla, and Devin Haney is going to sue Ryan Garcia. Went on Ariel's show and said he's going to sue Ryan Garcia because he said that he cheated with the PEDs and that is the worst performing video that I've had in a year. How is that possible? How the fuck is that possible? Every time I do a video about Logan Paul suing people, it gets 100,000 views or more. It's the worst video I've had in a year. Anyway, but yeah, so on the Alex and Yuri fight, dude, this is just like, when you look at Yuri Prohaska talking about like Alex using black magic, it is so amazing because he really believes it, dude. Like, he really believes it, you know? And I don't know. He straight up said, like, let's just have a fair fight, dude. You know, like, let's have a fair fight. Let's not use any of this black magic. It's like, I mean, I love that he believes it. And then he's like Yuri in his mind is this a good versus evil fight, dude. This is straight up good versus evil. Oh man. That's amazing. No, you don't care about Logan Paul, which I respect, dude. I respect that. But the analytics speak for themselves. People do care about him. Like, Mike, everything comes down to click-through rate and watch time. Like, if my click-through rate is higher than average, okay, and the watch time is higher than average, and the view count is much lower than average, that means YouTube is not showing my stuff to people. It's just that simple. What happened to my hand? We went over this. I have antibiotic resistant staph, but it's so gnarly that like I'm covering it because I don't want anyone to touch it. Like, no one in my family, nothing. It's like, and it's still open. So like anybody touches it, they're going to get it. And I can't train. It's really not ideal, dude. One of a few things that is working against my psychiatric state right now. Anyway, but on this fight, I'm still picking Alex Pereira, and I'll tell you why, dude. Oh, you're good, Kim. So Yuri is obviously a savage, incredibly challenging guy to beat. But one conversation that I had, one conversation that I had that was very convincing to me was, okay, like I'm not just going to like go, Yuri's mind is so strong that blah, blah, blah. Like, if there are straight up physical things that just make perfect sense to me, then I'm going to cite those as reasons that I'm picking the other way. Now, I do think that Yuri could beat Alex, of course. But so I was talking to Lloyd from Vayner Sports. He manages tons of guys. He's the main UFC agent for Gary V's sports agency, Vayner Sports. So he's a good buddy of mine. He's really, really, really fucking smart. And we were talking about who was going to come in. Like, this was during the time when Conor was like, maybe he's out, maybe he's not. And, you knew that they were potentially looking for a replacement. And I was going through it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, the only thing that makes sense is like this is when we were still thinking that Chandler would stay. And I'm like, Max is like the only one that could come in and really save the show if Chandler's still going to headline. And he's like, you want to know what the problem with that is though? He's like, when people fight on short notice, you got to think back to like when the last time they fought was. And the biggest factor related to that is what kind of punishment did their legs take? He's like, because if a guy takes a bunch of leg punishment in a fight, people don't really see that as much, but it like the recovery time from a bunch of punishment from leg kicks really pushes my guys back. He's like, no one really thinks about that. He's like, but he gave me a couple of examples of guys who got their legs beat up really heavy, and so they couldn't fight on short notice. And he's like, Max really got his legs beat up pretty hard against Gaethje. I'm like, that's true. So I just kind of filed that away under, miscellaneous information. But then when they're like Yuri against Alex, dude, Yuri's leg was fucking toast, dude. Toast. Completely fucking toasted by Rakic. Rakic absolutely brutalized that leg, man. So you got to figure that he couldn't have been training as, I don't know. I mean, like if that's a factor to consider, you got to figure that it's going to apply to Yuri, because I haven't seen anyone get their legs brutalized harder than Yuri and then still win by stoppage anytime recently. Like, the time that comes to mind is when Dustin Poirier beat Justin Gaethje when he couldn't walk. But it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, hang on. Okay, I wasn't asking for advice. I appreciate you. I wasn't asking for advice. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. It has to do with YouTube analytics and me, like, not posting and then them prioritizing other channels over mine because I'm not posting. And then when I come back, they're like, oh, these three guys posted. Whose videos are we going to show? We're going to show the one that they just watched. And so I get, like, down the ladder. It's just really infuriating. I just need to figure out a better way to, I got to figure out a better way to manage my vacations, because I'm on vacation, 2-3 times a year. And this fucking happens every single time. It's absolutely infuriating. Anyway, so I'm going to pick Pereira, but I won't be like, blown away shocked if he lost, you know what I mean? Like, if Yuri wins, I mean, obviously he can win. Check 1, 2, check. This is just a test. It worked, Tommy boy. Isaiah Cody, thank you for the super chat. Pereira Black Magic works a lot better than Manny Pacquiao's gram of Black Magic. I mean, dude, like I said in my video earlier, it's like Yuri's not wrong, man. You know what I mean? Like, Yuri's not wrong in terms of, like, Alex does seem to be practicing Black Magic. I don't even think that he made any secret of it. The way he responded was kind of like, yeah, I do that. I do that. And, the point that I made in my video earlier, I said, I've said this a million times about Tony Ferguson, where I'm like, Tony Ferguson is basically like if you went back to 1352 and just grabbed, like, the most hardcore Mayan or Aztec warrior in the world and just shot him back to 2020. And you were like, all right, now go fight in the cage. You know what I mean? Like, now go fight in the cage. Except that was just like a metaphor I thought of on my own. Like, Pereira is actually that for real. Like, for real, descendants of, generations of the most savage warriors of all time. And he kept the culture in place. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I'll tell you exactly why Conor is not in the sphere. If people are not picking up what Dana's putting down right now, he's not happy with Conor. At least that's how I read it. Every time they talk about Conor, Dana's not great at, like, hiding his appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you, my dude. Dude, honestly, the way that the notifications work on YouTube is really weird, though. Just to say this, whoever's channel is Cash the MMA Cash, or MMA, I literally think I've watched one video ever of theirs, and I get notified every fucking time that they upload a video. Every single time. I've never been more notified about a channel than Cash the MMA. I couldn't tell you anything about that channel except that I must have watched a video and I must have liked it and subscribed. I don't watch their videos, not anything against them, but YouTube notifies me at least once a day that they upload. I'm like, how do I get on this fucking thing, dude? Anyway, but the reason that Conor's not going to be on the sphere is because, I mean, let me ask you guys. Do you think Dana sounds like he feels like Conor fucked them? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how it sounds. It's how it feels to me in Dana's tone, is like, he seems like he's like, Conor fucked us, dude. Like, we had the highest selling gate of all time. He's always been the most reliable, and he pulled out over a broken pinky toe. International Fight Week with no realistic way to replace him. He fucked us. You know, I'm not talking about Conor anymore. That's kind of how it sounds to me whenever he talks about it. Right? You guys agree? I'm not saying, I'm not necessarily saying that it's like valid or, well, you know what? Here's the way. Like, here, let me put it to you like this, actually. I think it's fair to say that everyone who is like a really big UFC fighter who headline shows understands that when they agree to be the headliner of a show, they are a partner with the UFC, right? Like that really, I mean, like that is objectively, that is the way that it is. There's no, like, you're not an employee of UFC. You have an exclusive contract, of course. You can only fight for UFC. But the bottom line is, like, you are collaborating with the organization and they have given you a percentage of the back end if you're a headliner. Like, if you really think about it, like, it really genuinely is a partnership in the way that they've structured the contracts. So I believe the UFC looks at them as partners, because that's what they are. And so they're like, all right, dude, we partnered for this thing. We sold the biggest gate of all time. We did all the marketing. You've done a lot on your end, of course, and you're probably getting Conor's making an absolutely enormous amount of money. So if you're going to pull out of the fight, like, if you have a torn MCL, torn ACL, torn whatever, it's like, okay, like, you can't fight on that. But given the circumstances, Conor's comeback fight, the fact that they had sold the biggest gate of all time, I do understand how the UFC would be like, are you fucking kidding? A broken pinky toe? Suck it up, dude. Like, suck it up. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's not ideal for you to fight. But the reality is, like, if you're Conor, you're like, I don't need the money. What I need to fucking win. Like, I need to win. I'm not going to go in there compromised because I need to win. So, like, I could see it both ways, but I do understand why Dana's, like, really pissed. I mean, it's like there's no one who's going to tell you that you can't fight with a broken pinky toe. That's just not realistic. They could say that, yeah, you're not going to be at 100%, but you could be like, well, who's ever at 100%? Like, if that's like, if you're looking for a 100%, coming in, then just don't train. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just don't train then. Don't train coming in. Just like, or just don't spar. Just run. Get your cardio in order, but don't throw any full throttle kicks. Don't do anything that's going to potentially injure you because, I mean, if that's your priority, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what they're going to do with Chandler, dude. I really don't. I have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with him. I just, and Chandler said, he's like, don't insult me by, feeling bad for me, but I do feel bad for him just because the circumstances are fucking terrible. All right. So Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. You have a bunch of circumstances here that are, you know what I mean? It's like, so he's missing weight. Diego Lopez and them asked for a catch weight at 150 and Ortega and them are like, nah, 155. I don't like that shit. I really don't. This is a massive step up in competition. I'm going to pick Ortega only because Ortega, because he's such a massive step up in competition for Lopez. Lopez on a tear. He's amazing. His tattoo is absolutely amazing. Dream, believe, then make it happen. Beautiful. But I think Ortega is going to be too big of a step up, and Ortega is going to get it done. Also, because Diego Lopez wins by knockout, you're not going to knock Ortega out. But we'll see. Now, Anthony against Delize, that's easy. I think Anthony wins. I think he wins by stoppage. Delize's coming off of 2 losses in the middleweight division. And, Anthony, like, people, like, I think Anthony demonstrated in his last fight that it's like, they're always on his way out. You're like, dude, he lost on short notice to Khalil Roundtree, who's a fucking beast, an absolute beast, to Ankalaev, right, with a broken ankle, which doesn't even really count. Like, Spiral broke his ankle. And then you have the Johnny Walker fight where Johnny Walker fought really well and fought within himself and, was just beat him up because he's 6'6". But like Dolidze does not have, he's just like on paper, he's not any of those things that Anthony struggled with in those fights. I think Anthony's going to win by stoppage. I don't even think it's going to be a tough fight for him. I'm going to pick Silva in the girls. And in this Gary fight, I don't like saying what I'm going to say, man. I really don't like saying what. Wait, Anthony had a rough cut. Who said? Hey, who said that? How do you guys know that? How do you guys know he had a rough cut? Who's like, where'd that come from? Is that real, or did someone just like put that up there and just say it? He was last. Oh, he's last on the scale. Oh, man, needed the ring. Well, you know what? Let's look at this together, you guys. This is why I like doing, This is why I like doing live streams for these, because you guys are really good at showing me things I need to look at, Okay, so UFC weigh-in show. I mean, bottom line, dude, you can say whatever you want about Anthony. The guy is a consummate professional. He never misses weight. And ultimately, he makes... Whoops. Oh, yeah. All right. So on this fight, I'll just say this in advance because I was about to talk about this one. I am concerned that this is going to be an incredibly boring fight. And I mean, like this one has that written all over it, right? Two guys that are normally very exciting fighters, but are both very selective when they let it go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that this could end up being very boring. I hope, well, okay. That's the bad news, is it might be very boring. The good news is that if one of these guys wins by stoppage, they come out of this fight like on a whole nother level. If Venom knocks out Ian Gary, he's going to be a super. People don't even realize how nasty he is if they did not watch his Bellator career. I did. I've seen all of his fights. He is so exciting. He's super fun. All of his stuff is super flashy. He has all these knockouts where he'll starch a guy and then just stand there. Like, there's nobody who's been better at showboating post-knockout than MVP, like, ever. Like he dives in, hits a guy with an uppercut, and doesn't even watch him fall. He's just all, But Ian's going to be very hard to do that with. But, yeah, I mean, if Ian Gary knocks out Michael Venom Page, which he totally could, either of these guys comes out a star. But I think it is also highly probable that it ends up being a lot less exciting than people expect. So we'll see. Let's see. He is like one of the most likable guys in the world, though, dude. All right, let's see.
Anthony Lionheart Smith.
I mean, okay, so this is the weigh-in show. Dude, honestly, I think he looks like he's in good shape, dude. I think he looks like he's in better shape for this fight than he did in Brazil. Candidly. Like, he looks more full in like a healthy way. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I missed that, but he looks good to me, dude. And I mean like that in like an unbiased way, that I really genuinely think that he looks good. Oh, wait. Oh, that was him missing?
$206, the official weight for...
Oh, my God. He's like, thank God. Okay, yeah, no, he looks fine, dude. He looks completely fine. I don't agree. I don't agree at all that that looks like a rough cut at all. I don't agree. Shit. Delize is like 205, motherfucker. I'm 207 right now. All right, let's look at Ortega, who missed weight, which is aggravating.
$155. 155, the official weight for Brian Ortega.
He looks ashamed. He looks ashamed. Black Sicano, what's up, brother? I am actually going back to Mexico in 2 weeks, but we're going to Cabo. Going back to Cabo. Appreciate the super chat, good sir. And Black Deegan, what's up, man? Once I saw the decisions with the Rams of Gadirov, I decided to use an extremist, and I didn't want to let him. I mean, Gadirov is an extreme. Like, I don't know where you're pulling that, but went there in my car. Days I got at night. Went in, girls fully tinted Challenger would slowly circle looking for up. What on earth are you talking about? You went looking for Ali Abdelaziz? Jared, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Welcome to the show. Okay, so now let's look at, I mean, I'm sure Diego Lopez looks great because he's fighting at 155. Dream, believe, and make it happen.
155. 155, the official weight for T.
Looks healthy. Oh, man. He looks ripped. He looks ripped, dude.
204 and a half.
Bro.
204 and a half.
Looks ripped. Jared, we're going to go to the story about Khabib apparently getting raided in a second. But after this, I just want to look at I want to look at Alex real quick first.
Yuri Prochazka, and with that, your UFC.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. How on earth did Pereira make 185, dude? Look at, like, this is him at 205. How on earth did he cut 20 pounds off that frame, dude? How on earth would he cut 20 pounds off that frame? That is so crazy. That is, I don't even know what to make of that, dude. I don't even know what to make of that. That is absolutely insane. Wow. All right. So now let's go over to the story about Conor or Khabib and the security forces, which is really bananas. I don't even know what to make of this. What's up, Yagif? Extra perspective. I like it, dude. I'll be very curious what you think. And Broke Deegan, you can't super chat me that you're stalking people and telling me about going to their thing and have me read it out loud. Don't do that shit. There's like you understand, like, you're essentially talking about committing a crime in here, dude. Like, don't do that shit. You don't want to follow guys around just because they know a dude who you might think is whatever. These guys are super fucking dangerous too. You know what I mean? Anyway, but I appreciate the super chat as always. So, after the terrorist attack a few weeks ago, there's been a lot of tension between Russians and former Soviet Muslim countries. Of course, dude. So actually, you know what, dude? Let's look at the actual, here's the actual report that Conor's reacting to. So this is Russian security forces are raiding Khabib's martial arts school in Mahashkala in connection with the recent terrorist attacks. So, like, let's see how many views that has now, actually. Damn, it got another 1.4 million in like the last like hour. My money is on the guys already inside the building. Pray for the security forces. I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, dude. There are two things about this to note, though. But first, let me go over to the this part really quick. So Conor McGregor reacts to news of Khabib's MMA gym being raided following terror attacks in Dagestan. So Conor McGregor's feeling a bit of vindication following a series of horrific terrorist attacks in Dagestan, in the hometown of longtime rival Khabib. See, I looked that up and I was like the first day, and so that is his hometown, I guess. So I assume everybody knows the details of this. 21 people killed, including 16 police officers. Another 25 were injured after armed men attacked a synagogue, church's police. And we talked about what happened to that priest, which is insane. They slit the guy's throat. So listen, okay, so let me finish this part. Okay, so Sergei Melikov, head of Dagestan Republic, said at least 6 militants were also killed following the attack, one of which has been identified as Kagirov, a former MMA fighter who was once affiliated with Khabib's UFC Hall of Fame's late father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. This is him. This dude looks like a fucking confused person. You know, this guy looks like a person who's like, I have been convinced of some things, and I think the best thing, like, this is what I don't understand, man. Well, wait, hang on. Let me finish this. Sorry. All right. In the wake, yada, yada, Conor tweeted, #Conor was right. So here's Conor's thing. Okay. So here's the thing, dude. Like, first of all, let me just talk about this dude. Okay. I don't understand what people's, like, what's their thought process before they do a thing like this? You know what I mean? Like, what, I am generally speaking pretty good at like putting myself in the position of people in different situations. Like, that's why I was saying in my live stream I did about this. I'm like, look, if I was born in Palestine and a bomb from Israel had killed a bunch of my family, like, I think it would be understandable if I was a militant over there. And if I was born in Israel and a rocket landed on my kid's school and killed my kid, then my entire life would be about wiping them off the map. That's why I don't talk about the topic, because I understand both sides. I don't see it as right, wrong, whatever. I just see it as a bunch of violent people who are responding to situations that they were born into. So I'm like, I don't have anything to add, right? But on this, right? Like on a thing like this, what is going on in this dude's mind where he's like, you know what I think I'm going to do? Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to whack out a bunch of people at a synagogue, and then I'm going to whack out a bunch of people at a church. And you're all, what's your end game? Like, what's your end game? Because like the, Israel-Palestine thing, like I understand what like I know what they're trying to accomplish, at least. I'm not saying which one's right, which one's wrong. It's like, but I at least understand kind of like, okay, so this is the story you're telling yourself is good. What are you going to accomplish by going and doing this? Like what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like you're in a room, they're all, okay, so first we're going to hit that church. We're going to go get the priest, slit his throat. And you're like, okay, but like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you do a thing like that? It's like, oh, I don't know. And then you like look at this dude's eyes. It's like, I would do it because this is my brain. This is the kind of person I am. It's just fucking weird, dude. You know? Now, the other thing I don't understand, though, is like, if you've ever trained in a martial arts gym, dude, there are tons of fucking weirdos that come in and out of places. If this guy really, like what Khabib said, actually, I think he actually said it in his statement. Hold on. Hang on. Let me look this up real quick. Okay. So, okay, here you go. Yeah. So Khabib said he's not our student. That is absolute nonsense. It's not true. He had a camp at the gym at some point, maybe for a couple of months, but he was never part of our team. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I mean, like, I don't have any insight into who's on whose team. Why would I not believe him about that? So I mean, I've like these guys, on Khabib's team, or I'm sorry, like Khabib and his team. These guys come to America and compete all the time and interact with all the American people and all these different guys. There's no indication at all that these guys would support a thing like this. So like the fact that this dude trained at his gym and people were like, I knew it. We knew it about Khabib. I'm like, how? It just doesn't, I don't know. That does not compute to me at all. I am curious why security forces have raided the, his thing, assuming that that's true. But here's the other thing. So I looked up, wait, hang on. There's okay, the dude, whoops, hang on. Let me show. Okay, so I looked up the guy who reported this on Twitter, and I found some some stuff on this guy. Like this dude's background is weird. This Aussie Cossack guy. Like he does allegedly it's not just his gym. Well, yeah, I know. But like this guy right here, Aussie Cossack, he's a Russian citizen who lives like at the consulate or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like he's They said that he spread fake news about some attack on a person before. I tried to look it up. I couldn't verify that either. I don't know. All I know is that I don't know. Like, I mean, this is highly possible. I mean, that's possible. But like, it's also like it's coming on the heels of whatever this thing is that they did to him about his taxes, Like that's the part that seems weird to me. It's like, so you're like, when Khabib was still fighting, he's like an absolute stone revered superhero over there, right? And then he retires and they're like, we're going to seize your assets. We're going to do this. You're going to do that. Then you have this, I don't know. I mean, it's just like coming on the heels of last night, the debate stage. I used to think that we had some kind of I don't know, like government superiority over people where I'm like, look at how these guys run their government. Jesus, it's embarrassing. Now I'm like, I mean, same shit over here. They want to throw Trump in jail. Speaking of which, if anybody is curious what was going on last night at the debate, like if you're like, why the fuck would they have put Joe Biden on that stage? I will explain it to you right now. Because they did that for a very specific reason. And that reason is because they needed to get the entire Democratic Party behind pulling Biden off of the card or off the ticket. It's as simple as that, dude. Like it's literally as simple as that. Because if they would have just been like, behind closed doors, they're like, this dude can't remember his middle name. He has no idea who he is half the time. But the mainstream liberal media has not shown them any of that stuff. And immediately following the debate, every single media outlet on the left was like, oh my God, this is the biggest disaster of all time for Biden. Why would they do that? Have they ever done that before? Ever? Has the mainstream left-wing media ever like just fundamentally railed on a Democratic candidate after a primary or after a debate. Never happens. Why would they have done the debate so early? You know, they do the debate in July or June. Since when? They just threw this together. They're all, hey, Donald, you want to do the debate? And he's like, yeah, I would love to. Let's definitely do that. Why would they have done that? They're doing it because they need a reason to get Biden off the ticket so that they can replace him with someone who could actually potentially win. And then they have enough time to like make everyone forget that Biden was the president. And they're like, hey, we never supported that guy. But look, Gavin Newsom, man. This guy's the truth, man. This guy's the truth. You gotta go for old Gavin. Like that's what they're doing. I guarantee you that's what they're doing. Which is really unfortunate. Because what I realized was like when they first announced it, I was like, they must be thinking they're gonna put Trump in jail. Because I thought that this debate was gonna be after Trump's sentencing date. And so I'm like, they must just know they're gonna throw Trump in jail because they're never gonna throw Biden on the stage with Trump. But they did it now. He still is facing sentencing. And so theoretically, they could have just done this, justified getting Biden out of there so they could put Gavin Newsom on the ticket, and then they're going to throw Trump in jail. There's nothing these motherfuckers won't do, dude. I really believe that. Like, there's nothing these guys won't. There's no play they won't do that's not dirty. There's nothing too dirty for these guys, dude. I don't know. I haven't kept up with what the rules are in California anymore. All I know is that the last time I checked, so like I have an AR that I got when I lived in California that still has that bullet button, which is like, you don't even need it. Like in Texas, you obviously don't need one. And so like I need to get it replaced. But I know that the bullet button became illegal also because the next iteration of AR rules was you had to like undo the pin and take the entire thing apart in order to just put in a new magazine, and you have a 10-round maximum on the magazine. It's ridiculous. Like, just make him illegal. You know, like, why not just, you can have one, but you can't have more than 10 rounds in your mag. And also, if you're going to take out your mag, you need to just take the bolt out. You need to strip the entire gun, then put it back. It's just like, get out of here, dude. So dumb. It's not a sprained wrist. I wish it was, dude. I do. It is a gnarly ass staph infection. I'll just show you, like, you can see just a little bit of it on my finger. You can just see a little bit. It is 100 times worse than that under the thing. Jesse will make a video Saturday after the fights and will look geeked up. You don't even know what being geeked up is, dude. Have you guys seen Nightmare Alley? That's geeked up. That movie is fucking awesome. How many of you guys have seen the movie Nightmare Alley? Pulling Biden will just make the Dem party look like they have no idea what they're doing. The Dems completely screwed themselves. No. I don't agree. I mean, well, yes, but like their options are pretty. Thank you for the super chat. The only reason they would have done it this oh yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not going to look like that because I don't do that shit. But this like the news cycles are 4 days long. Max, dude. Max. Rover, thank you, dude. Well, guess what? Yes, homo, you're the man. No, if I punched the wall, I would tell you, dude. I promise. MMA Johnny, what's up, dude? The other thing too, though, about Gavin Newsom is my mom's in California. She told me that his whole State of the State address was all about federal shit. You know, like it was all. Wait, what am I looking at? Well, listen. RFK is more dangerous to these guys than Trump is, and I'll tell you exactly why. There are a lot of things that Trump is, like knows much better than RFK. But one of the things that is not in that category that RFK knows much better than Trump is how to prosecute these motherfuckers. Like, that guy understands the court system. He understands how all that stuff, like, if these guys are really worried about getting put in the slammer for all their malfeasance in the last, like, whatever, 8 years, RFK is the last person they want in there because he'll bury these fucking guys. They'll never let him win. They would never let RFK win. Because that's what I said, like, you know, South Africa. What's up, Newt? This is the weirdest thing ever. Am I on coke? No. I know in your guys' world, like, people walk around, they're all, I just have no energy. They're not like me, dude. Ortega didn't miss. He told him that they couldn't even do 150. Exactly. They whacked out his family. Then, like, there's just, it's insane, dude. That's true. I am on Kratom. That's correct. And no, I'm not on Adderall. Dude, you do not want whatever but Joe Biden's on. You're on that. You want on that dementia, son. Give me that dementia, yo. RFK's family. RFK's family got whacked out by the CIA. His dad and his uncle. Anyway. See, that's what I'm saying, dude. Energy on the edge, not pissing you off. That's because you guys know I'm on your side. You know, I'm edgy, but I'm on your side, even if you disagree with me. Me versus Chael Sonnen in what? I fucking love Chael. What's up, Yuzefa? How crazy that 20 years ago talking about the deep state would make you seem completely crazy. Now it's undeniable. Maybe change. I mean, so let me show you guys a video from a very, like, a creator you would not expect a revelation like this to come from. But, like, when I watched this is how I realized a lot of stuff about how what's been going on is actually, like, straight up, like, CIA, like a lot of stuff that happened from, you know, like, that was, I don't know, early 2000s on the right, like the, you know, Iraq and all that stuff, is now the exact same people on the left. And it's actually the CIA. He's got this video on the CIA. I think it's called the CIA iceberg. I wonder if he took it down. I don't see it. There we go. This one. So this right here. I'm in danger, CIA iceberg. Or actually, I guess this is the first. I shouldn't talk about this, CIA iceberg from Oompaville. Like, there you go. Oompaville. Not the kind of channel that I would normally kind of connect to, like, this kind of content. But I watched that and I was like, damn, dude, these are all the same fucking people. Oh, shit. Look at this. Oh, wait.
Farah and Jerry running this back, brother. And they both running it back at the same time.
Let me see. Where is this, dude? Sup, Jizz? How was jiu-jitsu?
Good. You're live.
I am.
Anthony Smith went off on the light heavyweight division at the UFC 303 Media Day. Smith claims that every single light heavyweight turned him down, and that's why middleweight Roman Dolidze had to step in.
Him moving up says a lot about my division.
Talk about.
So if you guys want to do your jobs, go ask every available light heavyweight why there's a middleweight fighting this fight. They're going to make up a bunch of shit, but I think you guys can read between the lines. Every single one of them said no.
What?
So, I'm the veteran, I'm the gatekeeper, like whatever those guys say. Well, why does Anthony get paid so much, and why does he get this opportunity, and why does he do this?
I'm sorry, what?
Coach Alex, he said that
They're only having competition class if you were going,
yes.
and then you said yes to go.
I said I might go. He told me, okay, just have your dad text me.
You're telling me that Six Blades kids competition class is only happening today if you are going, and you said you were going to go without talking to me. So you were like,
I never said I would go.
you were at jiu-jitsu for 8 hours today
But I said I might.
that we had to take you both ways to, and you're all, yeah, for sure, I'll do competition class and my.
I said I might go. And he said, okay, just have your dad text me.
This doesn't. The story you're telling me does not make sense at all. This is a nonsensical story. This makes no sense.
He said to let me.
Why wouldn't Alex text me to see if you're going to go if he's basing running the entire class on whether or not you're going?
Because they had camp today, they don't know if we're going to go. So I said, he said there's no competition.
Is Kylie going?
No,
For sure.
I don't know.
Is Victor going?
No.
Is Edgar going?
Probably because they weren't at camp today.
Guys, any of you guys have 11-year-olds that are very, very mediocre at, communicating information that makes sense?
Okay. So it's talking to the girls are still competition.
She said what?
She said girls are still there's no competition class.
Did you guys do the kids competition today? Did you guys fight each other? Who won?
Ariana. Out of my record.
Ariana.
You don't know.
What belt is she? How much does she weigh?
She's like, I think maybe a little heavier than me, but maybe like
What belt?
what?
You lost to her? You lost to her? How?
She has 4 strikes, and I lost. So what we kept doing was kept sweeping each other back and forth, like she had guard, and then she'd mount because gray belts were not allowed to play close guard.
You lost to a white belt in a competition match?
Okay, listen. I lost by 1 sweep.
So what, you weren't allowed to submit or what?
We were. I couldn't get any submission. I tried to get submission. It was this close to happening. I had it, and then
You lost to a white belt in a competition match. And what were the rules? How were you handicapped in the fight?
I couldn't do close.
You couldn't do close guard. That's good because I fucking told you need to learn how to fight out of high knee shield half guard, and you would have been able to finish her in 2 seconds if you would have just listened to me. You don't have to close anything. I told you I was trying to teach you how to do a Kimura from that position, and you could have finished her 100%. Okay. We're going to do competition class at home now. That's it, you guys. Giselle's up for adoption. Anyone want to adopt a gray belt 11-year-old? She's really good, dude. Don't let this fool you. I don't know. She didn't submit you, right?
Because we kept sweeping each other back and forth, and she sweeped me one time, and I was about to sweep her, and then the match ended.
Okay.
So I lost by 2 points.
Okay. It's not that big a deal.
It was like 6-4. Make sure you text Coach Alex. Hear that?
Anyway,
Because I'm willing to do the that you guys won't do. Me fighting a middleweight on Saturday proves that to everybody. So I think all those guys just got exposed.
Do people actually bring up like your pay, like you said, like why is Anthony getting
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like fellow fighters?
yeah,
do
we
that?
hear that back all the time.
Fellow fighters saying
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah.
but say what?
It's weird, right? Yeah, it's very weird. Like, what if you guys were out there arguing about who makes more money? That'd be weird, right?
Alex Bejeda says that
Hold
if-
up. They're complaining about Anthony making too much money? Ridiculous. True story. I've been calling my son Jiz for years, but his name isn't Giselle. He's 25 now. He's still mediocre at communication. She's good at communication. She just is mediocre at what's the right way to put this? Like yesterday, as an example, she went to jiu-jitsu camp, and I told her I'll be there at 3:30. Drop her off at 9:30. I'm like, I'll be here to pick you up at 3:30 unless you let me know you want to stay until the night class, at which point she could stay all day and I'll pick her up at 6. So I show up at 3:30. You know, the gym is 30 minutes away. I can't train. Okay. I can't train. And when I get there, she's like, Daddy, I wanted to stay. And I'm like, remember the part where you have to text me if you want to stay. So well, I didn't have my phone. Shit like that, you know? But yeah, her name is Jiz. L. So I call her Jiz. And I always thought like people when she was young, everyone's like, dude, you can't call her Jiz, which basically just made me much more likely to call her Jiz. Okay, so oh yeah, this is what I was talking about with Connor.
Dana White has shut down the potential of Conor McGregor returning in either August, September, or October. Robbie Fox from Barstool asked Dana backstage at the UFC 303 presser. Robbie said, any update on when he's going to get back into the octagon? People are saying August, September, maybe October. Is there any update there? Dana said none of the above. The co-main event between Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez.
This is what I wanted to. Oh, oops. I meant to. Oh. That means you're a good dad, dude. So I'll tell you right now, the way I communicate with her on purpose, I got to keep this down because I'm, you know, basically one of my number one goals as a parent is I break her balls on purpose in a way that most kids don't get, because most kids will be at school and people will start fucking with them and they don't know how to deal with it. And they're like, I mean, like, oh my God, like they hurt my feelings. And then those kids get bullied. So I do this on purpose to condition her to like, it's normal that she gets talked to like that. And then so like I say stuff like that. She's like, well, what? Like, you know, which makes her safe and confident at school. It is a 100% calculated thing. Exactly. Thicken her skin. Correct. Giselle, come here. Let's continue.
Tomorrow has been moved from a featherweight fight to a lightweight fight.
All right, so it was just announced on the official UFC weigh-in show that the Brian Ortega-Diego Lopez fight, which was scheduled for 145 pounds, is now a 155-pound lightweight fight. Now, I said earlier in the week that this was the weight cut that concerned me the most because Ortega had said that he was bulking up for a move to 55, potentially in September, the Sphere card, and then he gets this sort of detour to stick to 145, and that could be problematic when you're starting to change your body. And so what I was told was Diego Lopez's team got a call at about 3:30 a.m. local time in Las Vegas, saying that Ortega was 151 and that he wouldn't be able to make 146, which is the non-title fight limit, and that if he didn't start rehydrating, the fight would just be off. And so they had to agree to either a 155-pound fight or a fight being canceled. Diego Lopez and his team agreed to a 155-pound fight, and that's what we're going to get. So it's going to be a lightweight fight between.
All right. So that's kind of excusable. That is what it is.
What?
Tell them how good my staph infection looks.
It looks really cool.
Is it gross?
Yeah. It looks like a little pimples on his hand.
There's nothing little about him,
Big
dude.
pimples.
Open sores would be a.
Just show them.
No, it's gross, dude.
They want to see.
Yeah, I know, but it's gross. I don't need people looking at it. Did you see the picture I sent to my dad?
To him?
Oh.
Show them the one that's on your ring finger.
No, I did. But dude, okay, so I'll Conor McGregor says Ali Abdelaziz, get over there quick and see what is going on. Hang on. Let me start by saying I will not take a cent out of the whiskey deal. That is something I enjoy doing. Swearing on your child's life. Oh, he's making fun of Artem. Making fun of Artem. All right. Well, I will.
You punched the wall.
I didn't. They're speculating that that's what really happened.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
like really bad.
It
It's kinda
is
cool.
gross, is what it is. Let me see. Like this is the. It's just gross, dude. I don't want to like.
That's the bad
You think I should show them that?
That's the bad side. Don't show them the bad side. Just show them the top of your hand.
There you go. It's gross.
It's disgusting.
Dude, I'll take this off and I'll slide it right under your chin and then choke you with it so that you get choked out and you get staph. Giselle,
Huh?
because you lost to a white belt.
Literally, I got third place, and I have a medal. That shows
Wait, you got third?
out of 5.
What did Kylie get?
Second.
Did you have to fight her?
Yeah.
Wait, so she lost to her too?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it.
Twice. Ariana won every fight. Kylie lost 2.
Wait, Ariana beat Kylie and you?
Yes.
They should give her gray belt like right now then.
Okay, I mean,
She's a fake white belt if she beat both of you guys.
no, her dad is that Asian brown belt. That doesn't
Oh.
like the short hair one.
Oh. Like kind of skinny dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
That's her dad.
He's very good.
So can we please go to Jiu-Jitsu?
I don't know. I gotta talk to mommy. It's MRSA because the first one didn't knock it out. Her dad has submitted me before,
Can I show them?
but he has to work hard,
So-
like because I'm a lot bigger than he is,
I'm just not gonna show the bad part.
but he's like
Just don't show the bad.
he's like 6 months from getting his black belt at Six Blades, and he's yeah, like I've had him on my back before. I make him earn it though. Make him earn it. All right. This is probably enough.
What?
He's saying jiu-jitsu is disgusting because of like staff and shit, I think. All right. Gotta run, guys. Peace. No, first staph infection is not always MRSA. It's just like this one didn't like this one got knocked down by the injections, but then when I got on the oral, it just roared back. So like,
Because he gave you the wrong one.
yeah, I was on the wrong antibiotics.
Yeah, and then he went to the what's it called thingamajigger, and then
The what?
doctor.
The what's it called thingamajigger? What are you talking about?
The doctor.
Learn to talk, dude.
Okay, sorry.
Clindamycin is what they put me on now.
Clindamycin. And what were you on?
I don't know, something.
You
Oh,
had
actually,
clindamycin.
I was on some Mexican one that I actually don't like. Every person in my family was on antibiotics while we were in Mexico.
He was on.
I was on Levo. Hey, Gab, what's the name of the antibiotic that I was originally on, except just in English? Levaquin. And I can't train right now because Levaquin makes your tendons so brittle that they tear. And I've already torn tendons training. So anyway, don't touch anything. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
You
Staff is right there.
you don't know where it is, dude.
Yes, I do. Because then you
All
have
right.
staff right there.
Later, guys. Love you guys. Peace.